Good afternoon. Meow. My name is Volker Schlosser from my company KG Wetter. This is the schedule for my presentation. As we are short in time, I will go through it very fast, so don't worry, it will not take too long time. What I want to show you is how we can support the production by using a software, how we can support it by using the right machines or the right machine details, and how we can secure the hygiene aspects in the production process. But first of all, I want to start with a very, very short introduction of me and the company. Company is KG Wetter, as I told you already. We are producing machines for sausage production. This is our main application. Personally, me, I'm in sales, international sales, and I'm working worldwide. We are placed in the middle of Germany. This is not too far away from Weber company, by the way. It is just 130 kilometers in the north of Frankfurt. Just some reference customers from K&G, probably you know one of them. This is more international. This is just a selection of the customers that we have. So you see, we are working worldwide. We are taking part on several competitions every year, and we win. I can say with a little bit proud, we win a lot of competitions for our developments. The last one was in 2016. We won the prize for the best image in cutter bolt shopper production. This was a big survey done in Germany. We are ISO certificated. This is requested by most of you, of the customers. We have an export rate of about 65%, so market is worldwide. This is our main application. This is, I think, the application most of you work in, production of sausage, every kind of sausage. But beside this, the machines can also be used in other applications like cheese, chicken, fish, or whatever, tofu, pizza, vegetables. Pet food is a big, big market also where the machines are used. Coming to the machines itself now, this is just an overview. What you see, we have bolt shoppers in different sizes, so from very, very small units to very big units, as well as he has the grinders and mixer grinders from very small up to the very big units. So we can deliver to every size of customer, independent if it is a small butcher or a big industry company. Very important is for us, as for you, I think, the concept of the machine is always the same, independent if we speak about a 50 liter, for example, 50 liter small bolt shopper, or a 550 liter bolt shopper. The machine concept, in sense of technical background, in sense of hygienic, is always the same. So this makes sure that the quality standard is very high, at least for the products, for the end products, mainly sausage products. We cannot talk about 100 or 500 different recipes. What I want to show you is we can organize the whole sausage production more or less into three big groups, into three types of sausage. There are not more. We have scaled sausage, cooked sausage, and raw sausage. And every sausage that you find you can put under one of these three types. In Germany, we have roughly about, Alfred, I think 1,500, roughly about 1,500 different kinds of sausage. But each of 1,500, it's a scaled, a cooked sausage or raw sausage. I have written down here some examples for scaled, like mortadella, well known. A cooked sausage is a liver sausage, for example. A raw sausage, the most well known, is a kind of salami, for example. Servelat. We start with scaled sausage. Just to give you a very, very short overview of the production steps, and I'm now talking only the production with a bowl chopper. Ingredients that are needed are cut to a fine emulsion, homogeneous emulsion. And then, in addition, ingredients like vegetables and so on can be mixed into this emulsion. Later on, I will show you how we use the corresponding machine to this mixing process and this cutting process. We have one machine, but we adapt the machine exactly to these requests. What is important in the production steps of the scaled sausage? When we start, the maximum temperature for the scaled sausage emulsion is 14 degrees. This is very important. And we have to measure this 40 degrees, the maximum temperature, very exactly, at the right position in the machine. You will see later on how it works. After this production step, for sure the emulsion you can put into casings, bottling, jar or what else. And then, last step is to heat up this kind of sausage, scaled sausage, at least up to 37 degrees to make it durable and firm, or able to cut to slice. What is important from the machine side for the scaled sausage? First of all, we recommend to use special knives. We have, in general, worldwide, when you use a bowl chopper, we have three kinds of knives. We have so-called fine emulsion knives, we have standard knives, and we have raw sausage knives. The standard knives can be used for everything, but to get the very best result for your product, we recommend to use special knife for special application. That means for scaled sausage, which is a fine emulsion, we use the fine emulsion knives. This gives a perfect cut to the emulsion. When we use this, I will go to the next picture. When we use this, here this is the lid which covers the knives. When we use fine emulsion knife for this kind of fine emulsion for scaled sausage, we put in here a so-called buffle plate. This is like a wall inside the lid. The lid covers the knives. And within here we have a small chamber. We can also remove this, for example, if we want to have a raw sausage. So we adapt the size of the chamber where the cutting process is running. The cutting process is not running in the bowl, only a little bit. The main cutting process is running inside the lid, which covers the knives. And with this solution, we make it able that the knives run very often in the same time through the product with this small lid. Sorry, this was the wrong direction. Sorry, this one. The next group is a cooked sausage. For cooked sausage, it is common to use lean meat, fat, bacon, slab, and innards. All the ingredients have to be pre-cooked. This is very important, and we will see a machine solution that gives you much more opportunities to get better results. Depending on the kind of the cooked sausage, we normally start with at least 65 degrees, then cutting and put together all the materials. But not less than 60%, which is requested then, and then mix it up. And for filling into the casing, the emulsion has to be higher than 35 degrees. These are some examples for the cooked sausage, liver sausage, blood sausage, and so on, tongue sausage. For the cooked sausage, we again use fine emulsion knives. I had a wrong picture before, sorry. This is a fine emulsion knife, which is suitable also for very high speed of the knives. We have inside the buffle plate again, because it's more or less a fine emulsion. And we have a cooking device inside the bowl chopper. Most of you, I don't know if anybody is using a bowl chopper with a cooking device already. Most of the user do it outside in the cooking chamber, but we can also cook all of the ingredients that need to be cooked inside the bowl chopper. This is the bowl chopper under construction to show you. This is a ring where we spray in hot water steam, and cook from underneath the bowl the ingredients. And the big advantage of this solution is you do not lose anything, any parts of the requested out-cooking material. And last but not least, we have the third group of sausage. This is a raw sausage, like salami, for example. The main ingredients here is the meat with lean meat and bacon, speck and spices, depending on the taste you want to have. Very important, this is no emulsion which we produce here, so the cutting process itself is different, or needs to be different. The raw materials are grinded before and then chopped, and how we chop it will show you. And if the raw sausage is more hard or soft, this depends on the temperature that we are using in the production process, as well as in if you're using what kind of a kind of smokehouse, etc. Very important in general, but especially when you produce this raw sausage, is the sharpness of the knives. Unfortunately, we see very often that the sharps are not sharp enough. This is just an example for a recipe on raw sausage. It's in your documents already. For example, beef raw sausage, we start with a temperature of -4 to -2 with only 2000 RMP, the rotation speed of the knife shaft. This is requested. Then we add spices, ingredients, and so on. Then we cut it again with only 1000 RPM. After this, the bowl should run 4 to 6 rounds again with the cutting process. And then we add, at the end, fresh grinded meat with a temperature of 3 to 5. Plus salt and mix and everything with 1000 RPM. And for mixing process, we will see this later on, we have a mixing function within the machine. For raw sausage, you see the difference now. We have a raw sausage knife, which gives you a more slicing of the meat. and we put out this buffle plate, this wall inside the lid. So when cutting the meat, when slicing the meat, it can run inside the wall. It's not stopped. And this is a detail which gives you a perfect cut of the material. Very important, the meat and fat particles warm up more slowly, so they did not warm up as fast as you producing a fine emulsion. And they did not smear. This is also very, very important. What we can do in the production test with our machines is to automate certain steps. For example, we can insert water. Water dosing can be automated by the machine, so there is no need to put in water by hand. Another opportunity, another option is spice injection. This is not very common until now because a lot of people don't know that this solution is available, but this saves time and makes the process also very safe. So also spices can be injected by automatic. For cooling, standard cooling system is putting in ice, but we also have the option to do the cooling with CO2 or LN2, depending on what you prefer. Using vacuum is more or less the standard nowadays in the industry. So we offer all our machines with vacuum solution as well as without, depends on the request of customer. What is the advantage of using vacuum when doing the bowl shopper process? First of all, the products are firmer and more compact, so this gives you better bite when you bite in the product, let's say in Wiener or Frankfurter sausage. The ingredients can be reduced because the taste, if you produce the sausage under vacuum, the taste is much more intensive, so you can reduce the ingredients, spices. We have a very much better protein explanation since the meat particles are getting larger under vacuum, so the cut is much more easier. They cannot go left or right side beside the knives. The product heating is reduced, so we can do much more finer emulsion until we have received a certain temperature. The negative pressure in the bowl stabilizes the emulsion as well, and this is very important. At least the product stays fresh longer. Shelf life is much longer. In terms of selling a product, this is the big advantage. Using vacuum, to be honest, you need some experience. So you cannot say, I use vacuum, press vacuum, and it works. This is not the way it does. It depends a lot on the caliber of the size of the sausages, how much vacuum you have to evacuate, how much vacuum you use. This is just for your orientation. Calibers from 90 to 120, we use 60 to 80, and the smaller the sausage calibers are, the smaller the vacuum percentage which you use should be. Example for small caliber sausage, Frankfurter or Wiener. For meatloaf sausage, we use, for example, 60 to 70, but this is something the end user has, the operator at the machine has to test. This is, for example, a 120-liter bowl chopper. This is a machine we launched last year at the IFA exhibition. we are focusing on all of the machines on very high hygiene solution to avoid any contamination with bacteria and to make the machines easy to clean. Easy to clean. So what you see here, for example, there are no sealings between the vacuum bowl and the lid. So cleaning is very easy. We have big access areas also from the other side of the machine where you can clean the machine very easy and where we have the chance also to control it by looking inside. Sometimes you see machines where you don't have any chance to look if it's really clean. All the surfaces of the machine are constructed in an inclined surface, so water can run down from everywhere. All the machines, independent if it's a bone chopper or a grinder, are polished by hand. So the surface is very, very flat. There is no protein staying on the machine. Everything is running down when the cleaning process starts very easily. To support the production process, and this is a software solution which I want to introduce you. Very often we have the problem, even also in European countries, that the operator at the machines are not very familiar, they are not well educated in the production. For this solution, we offer, for this request, we offer a solution, a software called Cut Control. Cut Control is a recipe control system. This means we can store as many recipes as you like at the machine, and the operator is led by the system step by step what he has to do. For example, we have here a recipe for a certain kind of sausage. You see all the things you have to put in. We can store the speed of the knives for every production step. We can store the rotations of the bowl and the speed of the bowl for every production step. Then we can store, for example, stop functionalities. We adjust, for example, first step, stop after a certain temperature is arrived. And so you lead the operator step by step through the production. What is necessary for this is that the products are standardized. So we have always to start with exactly standardized materials. The system does not work when temperature once is +5, next time -2, and next time +8, because this is something a machine or a software cannot recognize. So as soon as the materials, the starting materials, are standardized, nearly everybody can do the process. There is also a calculation system installed. As soon as the quantity changes, you just type it in and the software do the whole of the calculation of all the ingredients that has to put in the meat by itself. This is the surface, how it looks like on a panel, or even at a PC. You can store the recipes directly at the machine or via the net from the desktop in your office. And this is how it looks like on the machine. For example, the operator gets the information, okay, please put in now the meat with every information about quantity and so on. Second solution, a kind of software, is the software CutVision. CutVision is a quality software the quality management software. This means all the production steps are stored at the system and archived. So in case of any problems that probably occurred, you can follow up your production. You can export all the data to Excel files, or you can print out or store in different files and data as you like. You see, everything is stored. This is a machine type number, so you can follow up each machine per year and per month. And you see here how many batches per day were produced. And you can follow up several parameters like temperature, start temperature, end temperature, maximum temperature, water, energy consumption, and so on and so on. So all the production steps are stored in detail. You have several options how you want to present it or how you want to follow up. This is, for example, temperature, how it was running through the production process. Could look like this also. For the machine itself, we have diagnosis systems. This is more or less not for the end product producers of importance. This is more of importance for the service teams, for the maintenance teams, so the machines can follow up if there is any technical problems on the machine. They are immediately identified and can be managed. Same for IQ modules on the machine if there occurs any problem. Something like an alarm history or whatever. Thank you, it was a short presentation. Thank you. This is a production with a 550 liter vacuum bone chopper. You see here the big infeed area, so the material is coming in without pressure. There is no heat coming down from the shaft of the machine. Very important to reduce the production time is that knives come very close to the bottom of the bowl, as well as the sealing of the knife lid. This is a recipe control system, and the operator gets the information what he has to do. You see the ice here at the machine. They are using CO2 cooling, so it's ejected by automatic.
今天的研讨会就到。